An in-debt widower, a daughter's love of horses, and a cunning ad campaign. Welcome everyone. This week we're going back to 1968 for a Disney comedy film called The Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit, starring Dean Jones, Diane Baker, Kurt Russell, and Ellen Janoff. And this is directed by Norman Takar. I hope you enjoyed this week's story. It begins with Madison Avenue advertising executive Fred Bolton, played by Dean Jones, a Lakeville, Connecticut widower living beyond his means. Working for the Tomes advertising agency, his boss has instructed him to devise an original campaign in just 24 hours. Their client is Allied Drug and Foods over-the-counter indigestion medication, Aspercel. Allied's chairman, Eat 'em Alive Tom Dugan, wants a jet-set appeal campaign that will give sour stomachs class and dignity. Fred's other problem is his teenage daughter, Helen, played by Ellen Janoff, who loves riding horses, and a $900 past due notice from the S.J. Clemens Riding Academy. After a stressful meeting, Fred meets with Susie Clemens to give her a lecture on highway robbery, but instead apologizes after finding out that Helen is tops in her class. Helen dreams of having her own horse, but knows that the family can't afford to spend $2,000 and that her father is allergic to horses. Fred has an idea to solve both problems at once. He will acquire a good horse, name it Aspercel, and publicize the horse while Helen rides it in competition. Mr. Dugan buys the idea. Helen and the horse will win a few prizes to make the horse a celebrated figure. Enlisting the help of Helen's riding instructor Susie with a purchase, the new addition to the family happily arrives. They enter the Saybrook Horse Show, where they are greeted and assisted by Ronnie Gardner, played by Kurt Russell, who becomes taken by Helen, joins them in the festivities. Unfortunately, Helen is eliminated from competition. Ronnie informs Fred that Helen put the horse in the wrong pattern and then panicked, calling it a push-button ride. Fred asks Susie to help with daily training, helping with basic, simple horsemanship to develop a partnership with the horse. After a month of training, Helen wins several ribbons. However, the resulting publicity is below Dugan's expectations. Helen overhears Dugan telling her father that he thinks he cooked up this scheme just so his daughter can get a horse. Threatening him, his job is now at stake. Ruh-roh. So does Helen falter under pressure and fail to win an important show? Does Aspercel's potential increase when he accidentally carries Fred over a 7-foot wall? Or does Susie volunteer riding Aspercel in the most prestigious international show of all? Released December 20th, 1968, our story is based on the 1965 book, The Year of the Horse, by American writer, novelist, and screenwriter Eric Hatch. A writer on the staff of The New Yorker, he also wrote the screenplays for the films Sidewalks of New York in 1931, My Man Godfrey in 1936, one of my favorite comedies, and Topper from 1937, that stars Cary Grant. 94% of Google users like this movie, stating, a straightforward, fun family film that's enjoyable to watch, a very sweet movie that made me smile throughout, and a fun Disney film that still holds up today. I think so, and I'll put up the links to two other films that hold up today from Disney. Old Yeller from 1957, and Now You See Him, Now You Don't from 1972, that also stars Kurt Russell. And our trivia question this week, did someone in this film receive a potential award? Did someone in this film receive a prestigious award? Sorry. So, a little more history, and the answer to our trivia question, coming up next. This movie was partially filmed at the Washington International Horse Show, making this show the subject of this week's history. So, founded in 1958, the Washington International Horse Show, or WIHS, is one of the most prestigious, competitive, and exciting equestrian sporting events in North America. Held annually in October, WIHS brings together the finest and most talented horses and riders from across the country and around the world. It features 7 days of top jumpers, hunter and equitation competition, equestrian entertainment, and community and charity events. For more than 20 years, the event took place in the Capital One Arena in downtown Washington, D.C., and also at the U.S. Air Arena in Andover, Maryland. In 2022, for its 64th year, WYHS returned to its roots, taking up residence at the Showplace Arena in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, where it continues today. Horse stables are erected, closing motor traffic down for the duration of the event. Horses gather at the nearby Prince George's Equestrian Center where they train, then shuttled into the city for the specific days that they will be competing. The event has been closely involved with the American presidency over the years, with the presidential seal being given to the President of the United States Perpetual Cup by President John F. Kennedy in 1961. Honorary chairmen have included First Ladies Jacqueline Kennedy, Pat Nixon, Betty Ford, Nancy Reagan, and Barbara Rush. Equestrians, non-equestrians, celebrities, and children alike enjoy a variety of events, from the President's Cup, the WYHS Equitation Finals, and Shetland Pony Steeplechase to Kids Day. There's a free educational event, a bar night, military night, special exhibitions, boutique shopping, and ringside hospitality. WYHS has been recognized as a top 25 horse show by the North American Riders Group since the designation was established. WYHS holds the prestigious 5-star rating from the Fédération Équestre Internationale, the world governing body for equestrian sport. And by the way, this was the 60th live-action film produced by Disney. Amazing. And the answer to our trivia question this week, did someone in this film receive a prestigious award? Yes, and it was a horse, of course. The horse that played Aspercell in our film was played by Alvarado. Alvarado won a Patsy Award for his portrayal in this film. The Patsy Award was originated by the Hollywood office of the American Humane Association in 1939. The letters stand for Picture Animal Top Star of the Year. The first recipient of a Patsy Award was Francis the Talking Mule in 1951. They made a series of those movies. There were 2 horses that were stand-ins for Aspercell, called Sir Winston and Could Be. And a quick note, Fred's dog in the film was named Herbie. Yes, you guessed it, after Dean Jones' next film for Disney, The Love Bug, released to wide audiences March 13th, 1969. And I saw most of these shows I mentioned at the movies back then. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to give a big thank you to my viewers and subscribers, and I hope you'll join me next week.